Hello there, good evening and welcome. This is your Super Station Joy 99.7 FM and this is Strong and Sassy. I hope your week has been good. How are you doing? I hope you're not stuck in too much traffic. Well, think of the upside. If you're stuck in traffic, then it means you'll probably catch the whole show before you go home. But thank you once again for choosing us. And we're live on Facebook. You definitely want to watch us on Facebook. You don't want to miss the faces, the gestures, the facial expressions, and of course the beautiful women that are gracing your Facebook screens. Don't let it go to waste. So tune in and let's be interactive. Tell us what you think, your thoughts on what we're going to be talking about, and what you'd like to hear as well. So our WhatsApp lines are open: 055-1111-997, 055-1111-997. We're also live on Twitter. So Twitter fam, hello to y'all. Okay, so tonight we're talking to three beautiful ladies, three regulars actually, very, very regulars. So we have Esinam.
Hello.
Who's basically like the co-host of the show.
Hello.
Last week we played your song.
Yay,
we talked about getting over broken hearts. So we signed out with the broken hearts in which year? Yeah. So we have Esinam Batali, who is a lot of different things. And then Adepa. Sometimes I almost say the other names. So Adepa.
What other names?
The other ones.
Enka.
So she's the senior, our big sister on Strong and Sassy. Also another regular. And I'm Auntie Amade, entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. Please say it right, entrepreneur. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Tonight. So this evening we're going to have a little bit of a naughty conversation because we're talking about spicing up your relationship, spicing up your love life. So please, the children's, we beg you, send them to the other room.
Wow.
If they are in the car with you, we'll try and be coded as much as possible, but I don't know how you're going to manage if they're in the car with you, but but just giving you a little bit of a forewarning. We want to have a very realistic conversation, and so we can't, always be limited to having very politically correct, because we want to make an impact, right? We want people to hear and feel like, okay, this actually means something. So, all right, let me start with Amma.
Nicely done.
Yes. No. So you know what? Let me start the question from here.
Okay.
When it's inevitable that in every relationship the sparks will die.
No.
Right? Relax.
Maybe to dull.
It's okay. It will die, madam.
No.
It dies. No matter how much you try, it dies or it starts to die, and then you have to.
I can agree to it becomes stale, or too usual, or like too familiar that it's become the norm, that there's no excitement about it.
So what does sparks?
Dying,
what does
but
sparks,
dying there is like
what does
die.
sparks will die mean?
It means that nothing is there anymore.
No, the sparks. It's not the love. The sparks are different from
sparks
the love.
and the
No. Hey, Asamo. So sparks are like the honeymoon phase. The butterflies, the jitters. That's what I mean by sparks.
Right.
Okay.
So unless you people after 4-5 years you still have sparks, then I'm listening.
Adepa, hello. Miss call.
Very good.
Okay.
Can I ask my question? I haven't asked that.
Ask
Okay,
your
so
question.
it's fine. Yeah, I'm
Ask
coming
your
to answer your
It was
question.
because I was told I had a missed call. So I just wanted to answer.
Go ahead, please.
5 years, the jitters will go down. It is natural. Because either a baby or babies will come in and attention will be split.
Or familiarity.
And then the usual familiarity that breeds the usual contempt will also come in. You are all familiar around each other. Your routines are well defined. You can read each other literally like your palm. You know that when I talk like this, you respond like that. Or when I make up this attitude, his response will be that. You start reading each other very intelligently.
Do you guys do that? So sometimes when I want to talk to my partner, I can sit down and have the whole conversation with myself and just decide I'm going to say anything, because I'll say it, do his response, say it, do his response, do his okay, all right, okay, then
It's normal.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not there.
No, I know.
No?
No.
Oh wow, okay.
Okay.
I guess maybe it takes
Some
takes-
time.
it
I
takes
think
some
it'll take
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So 4 or 5 years, unless something extraordinary happens, and you are able to sustain the autopilot mode of the feeling of being in love, and then the real expression of having him around in a certain mode. Otherwise, whatever it is, there'll be a descent. It can't keep on flying at that plane consistently and constantly with you having that jitter of coming home to him, to being in his arms, being cozy on his chest. I mean, having all those feelings, texting, being naughty to each other on phone and all, it dies.
Why?
It's a whole lot of things. It's a whole lot of things.
You guys can button. If you leave the show for the pashu, I'm proud.
Oh,
No, I was waiting for it to get to my turn.
You still haven't asked your question.
Okay, so
this is what they do.
So
I'm
anyone
forgetting the
asked?
question. So
You
okay.
haven't
Anyone
asked.
ask your question?
You haven't asked, so finish ask.
So I was gonna say that. Should we establish before we start that when a relationship goes stale, do you make an effort to fix it, or do you change it?
You fix it.
You fix it. When it proves unfixable, then you can consider changing it.
If it's left to just
What do you mean by unfixable?
But if you've
Because
done
in my
everything
opinion,
in
everything
the
can be
books,
fixed.
No. Okay, so let's say the fixing is just being one-sided. If you're not getting a positive response from the other side, then
Must it always
it's
be like
unfixed.
that?
Well, but there are
That's-
instances where one person is trying to work on it so we can get there. The other person is like, oh, there's no problem, so I don't see why we should fix something. Meanwhile, things are still what it is. Maybe you are still not where you used to be. And you've used all the cards in your deck, and still the person isn't showing up and contributing towards the spark coming back to life. That's unfixable.
You see, I will be careful in talking about this, because in a properly instituted marriage, it is not just a relationship.
It's not just.
I understand.
so-
I understand. So let me take a position and talk on behalf of the
married folks.
people of my category.
Yeah.
That when you are married,
That's
and
the seriously married people.
yes,
Not the non-serious. The category.
Wow.
Oh, find
please.
it well.
No,
wow.
no. I'm not talking about
Till
serious.
death was part.
If there is the death do us part, the dynamics changes. Really, it is not.
But are you aware that right in this day and age, people, when you follow social media or you read the statistics of divorce and things, you can deduce somewhat that till death do us part. So people are not really like till death
No,
do
it's-
us
it's
part
for-
anymore.
It's no longer for better for worse
So,
anymore.
so
It
you-
really isn't, is it?
It isn't. It's just
well,
things we
I
say.
would say that it has been trivialized.
Yeah.
Okay, it has been trivialized. I mean, I would say that the entire marriage vow that we used to hold on dearly and actually recite yearly, to keep body and soul together, is no longer like that. It is because I would say that information is readily available. Now you are able to educate yourself. People are getting to know themselves.
And also because society has become more
More
accepting of divorce.
Of
So, I mean,
divorce,
it's not
yes,
like what it used to
yes.
be.
But I am saying that in order that we don't encourage the if you can't run away kind of syndrome, fix it, because you see, right before you entered into the marriage or into the union, you had your own mind that this will go far. And you had already envisaged that it was not going to be on cloud 9 from day one when you were 25 years to day whatever when you are 80 years.
Again,
But
you'd be
that's-
surprised by how many.
So many people, we
expectations
focus on the wedding.
people have, like,
And we focus on the wedding, and we rarely think about the life after the wedding.
So that
In
is
reality, so
where,
many
and I
people
can
don't.
tell you the gospel truth that most times marriages fail on the first night of the wedding. That day that they consummate, that is the day that the marriage starts failing. Okay, so that is the day that the Jesus even dies. Some people go on honeymoon just to fulfill all righteousness,
Yes.
because
Let's
I
take it off
got
the
married
box.
and everybody's expecting that me and Mr. will move away from society and then go and hibernate.
Yeah.
So it is just a fulfillment of the expectations of society. But really, the marriage is not even there.
Esina, what do you think?
Okay. So when it comes to being together with someone and that you've decided that for the rest of your life you're going to stay with this person, the primary thing is considering the fact that for the rest of your life you are deciding to be with that person. That's why that decision must not be taken lightly. In the first place, you should think through it several times. Ask several questions before you get involved. So let's just say that you've gotten involved and the sparks look like they're dying. What are some of the symptoms? What does sparks dying look like? I feel like once we describe it, we will be able to profess or give some solutions as to it. So for me, sparks dying looks like over familiarity, right? Where the person doesn't think they need to, or they don't think they need to do anything to make you excited about them anymore. So the man doesn't think he needs to put in any work to look any good, to smell any better, to, make you feel wanted, make you feel loved. I mean, we are married. We've given birth to all the kids we want. We have 3 kids. We are busy with life and we are busy with schedule. So the marriage has been put on the back bench. The union between the two people who stood and had a vow, that union has been relegated. And so all that is left with is chores. All you think about, chores. You wake up, routine. You bath the kids, you take them to school. Nothing exciting anymore. And I feel like once you're getting to that point, you know that you're getting to the stage where the sparks are dead, like you've said. And so for me, a bit of, spicing things up would involve being deliberate about loving your partner in the way they want to be loved from the beginning till the end. Deciding that, okay, my partner's love language is acts of service. My partner's love language is gifting. I promise you that I'm gifting you till death do us part. I feel like those things should be part of the vows. I promise to love you. No, it's too vague. It's too empty. I feel like specifics
to cherish.
Specifics must come inside. I promise to love you in the way you want to be loved for the rest of your life. That is for the rest of our lives. That is you deciding that I'm going to love you the same way I'm loving you now till the end. I feel like when we do these things, when we are deliberate about how we love our partner, the spark won't even die.
Yeah.
I think it's beyond the vows. Because people say for better, for worse, till death do us, and they don't keep to it.
Right.
So
What
just
I'm saying is for
putting it in
those
the
who
vows
decide
doesn't
to
really
want to
change
keep their
anything.
vows.
Unless
Like maybe it's one of the examples, but I feel like there are promises you should be making to each other. Not necessarily in front of the church or things like you need to decide in your mind that this is what I want to do to keep my marriage fresh, new every morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think that we also need to prepare ourselves for the fact that after the wedding, you are likely to now see the person you really married. So you need to prepare yourself to fall in love with that version as well.
And the painful thing about that is, what if you meet the person really, and then you find that you actually don't like them?
Yeah, because so many.
That is why
people,
me, I'm an
so
advocate
many people
for
would
live together.
pretend, you know
Me,
your
I'm an
partner.
advocate for know the person, like at least live together for a month. Like I'm an
So
advocate
that
for
1
that.
month, then you cannot put it together. keep up with that, showing off as if you are such a homemaker. You make
can pretend for a month.
How many months can you pretend?
When you know that there is a promise of marriage at the end
Wow.
of 1 month, this is a test. You are going to
You
ace it.
even if it's 1 year.
Then
ace
the
it.
person now is not a good person.
You will ace it, and then you now feel at ease, and then you can now
But you see, Islam, you're saying the person is not a good person, but I mean, fundamentally, do we really show all of ourselves to the person that we meet?
We
should.
We should. But the thing
You
is
people
that, okay, so let's
hey.
for me, I believe that you should show it. But
But
then,
should we or
No.
do we?
Do we? You ask.
we don't.
Yeah, so we are saying we should,
We
but
should.
do we?
But
Be-
mostly,
most
But the
we don't.
reason we should, and I support that, and I try to do that a lot. But I think that the reason so many people wouldn't want to show that is because you're trying to get something, and you're like, okay, if I need to cheat to get it, I'm going to do so.
Why must
Because
it be something you want to get? Why
because
is marriage
there's this
something to get?
perception that most men are looking for a woman who behave in a certain way. So you meet somebody you love, you
Oh,
don't want
then
to deal
that
with
is
the
where all
reality
this-
that I might not get this person to myself if I show the person that I really don't like cooking. So let me just let the person think that I like cooking and
Or
I
let me
love
order
serving
food
him.
and put it in
Let me
containers.
order-
When it comes
But
out,
you
say,
don't
"Oh,
trust
I
your
finished."
cooking,
Yeah.
but you would do that.
But
You
why
know
do
that
you look
you'd
so
rather
shocked?
pay somebody. You'd rather pay somebody to, you know that you'd rather pay somebody to
To
clean
do
your
it,
house,
yeah.
do your housekeeping. But you show yourself as me, I can keep a housekeeping, it's my hobby. And then you flop me. Everybody knows that me, if left to me, the first thing that I will pay for convenience at any time. Any day. I don't like stress like that. I will pay.
I relate to what Amma is saying because I'm looking at my younger self and me now. So when I was younger, when I was getting married the first time, so 20, I was like 24, 25. I tried, I was like, oh, I'll be a very good, I'll cook, food prep, clean. I'm like on point. Right now, I look at the situation. I'm like, look, I didn't come to suffer. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The weather is
Soft
too hot.
life only.
I am not going to stand in the kitchen and cut onions. Please, if you won't cut your onions, we will all know it. And I mean, I'm not saying that is good, but I'm asking myself, is that who I really am? Or was that who I really was? Or do we change, in time?
Animwaa, we
Sometimes
change.
to that version of us, we become that because we are told that that's who I'm supposed to be. Till you get into your own person and you realize that honestly I don't like doing this one. I'll choose that over that, and then you gain the confidence to tell people that I don't like doing this. But before you get to that point, you are all constantly told you are supposed to be a certain way.
Yeah.
So you work towards it because you are dependent on all these people.
Man,
and you're
know
thinking that's how
thyself.
people would accept me.
First,
Man,
no,
know
that's
thyself.
It's okay. We've talked about every other thing but the topic. So now how to spice up. So let's say, okay, people are listening to us. They are in relationships. Some are 4 months, 5 months. The person started farting. The smell of their poop. You've seen them in the morning. The smell of their morning breath. When they are eating, you can hear it from the other room. You can hear them swallowing. All the little things that really, really irritate when you are. So let's say that's where you are. Esinam started with pointing out the things that show that the sparks have died. So let's do a little bit of that. And then let's go into how to bring back some fire in your relationship. So, Islam, do you want to take...
We'll start with...
Yeah, you see, because you were not paying attention.
I was paying
You're
attention.
talking to your fans.
Wow. Okay.
It's
Okay.
fine. You're live on TikTok, right? Please, we are live on TikTok as well.
Okay, the jitter killers are there. The Bible actually talks about the little foxes, and
That's like my favorite scripture.
they are always around.
The toilet seat app is a little fox that can spoil the marriage.
I know.
Yeah. The toilet
Yes,
seat
and
app.
even how we near the toothpaste.
Hey, you
Yes.
people too. Something
yes,
I
yes.
cannot be bothered. Like,
And then
Okay.
those who
It
use
will
the
bother
soap
you.
and they train the soap. And
Yes, that is also
Yeah.
one of
Why
it.
you do that?
Okay, but you see, when you find out that you don't like something about your partner, and you know that it is driving you secretly insane and you are not able to tolerate it, please communicate. Nobody was born perfect.
Thank you.
We all came to this world extremely imperfect, screaming our way out of our mothers. It shows how imperfect we are. So if you find something, talk about it. There are some people who will easily take offense when you talk about their weaknesses, even when you are in a trusting relationship. It's like when you go all gun blazing. It's like, I don't think I like it when you do this or that. They may feel, like, hey, you are controlling me already, If your partner is one like that, please repeat after him. Whatever he's doing that is annoying you, start doing same. And let's see how his response will be. Normally, when he does it and you do it, or when you do it and he does it, sometimes you get the message clear. It's like, I don't like this. I don't like this. Okay, hon, can you shower? Can you shower? Can you shower? Then you start going to bed without showering. Oh, yes. Let's see how that will sound.
Wow.
It's like, now where are you? Oh, you also didn't. So tomorrow, let's get a shower. You understand?
Oh, you didn't shower. That's perfectly fine. So I'm just going to sleep in the couch. So you don't shower, sleep in the couch. Because I want fresh air. You don't shower, sleep in the couch. No problem.
Exactly. If that is how he will understand it or she will understand it. But whichever way, communicate it. Communicate what is going on. Because you see, it can drive you really insane.
Have you guys ever heard a guy say that if there's no match, they don't see the point of showering in the evening?
I hear it a lot.
Okay.
Yes, I hear it a lot. I don't know why guys think like that, but hey.
But there's no match. So there's no point in showering.
No, there is a point in it. But whatever it is that is annoying you, please talk about it.
What's wrong?
Because
I'm visualizing the thing.
You see, nobody is God. And nobody can play God in your life except God. Nobody can read your mind. You understand? The thing is actually hurting your feelings. The attitude or whatever the person is doing is actually driving you insane.
But why are we so petty sometimes?
We are not petty. We are different.
So why can't we just adjust?
No, we can't. So in adjusting, you need to tell the person. You can't adjust in silence.
Because
then
you
becomes
see that
a self-inflicted pain.
But sometimes it also creates so much friction. So we are fighting over toothpaste. Okay, so use your Pepsodent, squeeze it from the middle, front, center, back, and I will buy my Colgate and keep it in my drawer. Yep. So when I wake up, I squeeze my toothpaste. You squeeze your toothpaste. Everybody moves.
But the thing is,
let me give a very practical example.
Let me hear a
very practical example.
When I'm eating, right, I don't like to mix my stew
the
with
whole
rice.
thing
Because my auntie taught me that if you're unable to finish the food,
then
at least have it look presentable
for
for somebody else who wants to eat it. So I don't mix my food. My partner mixes the whole food.
The salad and the
everything. Now, he insists that we eat together. I don't mind him eating his food and I'll eat my food. But he insists we eat together. And because of that, there's the fight. We are always eating your way. We are always eating your way. Those fights happen. The solution is day or day, let me day my day. But no, the chairman doesn't want that. So we end up having to fight over mode of eating.
Yeah.
Those are things that are real, like they're very realistic. They happen every day. I thought it was an exaggeration that people made.
No. It's just
But it's really, really true, and it happens. And if you don't take time, it will build resentment in the person. And over months, over weeks, over years, the person will still be harboring it in their heart.
Like those who drink the water, so just drink it nice. And there are those who squish. I like to squish the bottle.
Why?
So you come and mix the half squished
and make loud noises.
And make loud noises.
Why?
Why?
It happens. Yeah,
well,
I'm sorry.
I've never been married. I can't speak about so much about marriage. Everything I say will be based on assumption and perception. But I think that most of the things that you're complaining about, you see them during the dating phase. Like, you have already seen that your partner likes to eat like this. Can you just accept that this is how he likes it, so you don't let it bother you again? Yesterday, I had this conversation with a friend, and I was telling her that it just dawned on me that there are things that we should just accept that this is the person he is, and tell yourself, I am okay with it, and I think you won't have a problem with it again. So you guys don't get to
I don't think
argue.
it's that easy. Because
Of course, there are some things that are extreme, but I think that people getting so upset over like where somebody's pressing toothpaste or even food, you don't have to eat from the same plate every single day.
But the person
Maybe
insists.
once a week. Insist that every day.
Every
So you let the
single day,
person
every
also
single
see
meal of every
from
single day.
your point of view that I am really not comfortable. I mean, I don't think he wants to force you to do something you're
You
not
have no
comfortable
idea.
with.
Okay, so how do we bring
this
back
is-
the spice into our today? We are so off, like completely off topic.
Because the spice is tied to a lot of things.
Things.
One of the things the spice is tied to is sex.
Yeah.
One of the ways to bring the spice back is to make sex or to keep sex prominent in your life. On no occasion or in no period should sex be
At the back.
at the back of the relationship. Because again, when we forget that there are two people who decided to be together, liking each other, being sexually attracted to each other, that decided to get married, when they stop having sex, which is a physical connection between two people, you notice that there's a distance emotionally between them.
But why
Sex
are the
breeds-
women always the culprits when it comes to this?
Are you
how?
sure?
Okay, most of the stories I've heard is the women who change.
It is because maybe you hear.
I think the men complain more
more,
about that
yeah.
than women will complain.
Because
Men are
perhaps
complaining that women have
my
changed.
husband is not giving the thing.
I've really
You know.
rarely heard that.
Oh, really?
Oh, I've heard that
happens.
before.
Anyone?
Yeah,
Yes.
happens.
Me, I hear
When
more
the
of
man,
that.
the woman has, more appetite than the man does.
See, okay, so the whole issue is keep every other thing separate from you and him. I think it's the basic thing most of us can't do. That me and Kwesi, we are different. The children are an addition to us. So I need us first before the children. The issue is we are more likely to put every other thing above the marriage or above the union or
Is
the
that
relationship.
not when the sparks have gone down that we do that?
Yes. So I am saying that in order to bring it back, okay, go back to factory setting. The factory setting is, I knew him to be like this. When I was dating him, we used to do things like that. Okay, there are children. Can there be weekends where we can keep the kids away and go back to being us? Go back to the corners where we used to stand and talk. Just go drive there, sit there.
Yeah, but you see, the
and talk.
corners that we used to stand and talk in, those days, when I stand and the mosquitoes are biting us, it's very romantic. But right now,
No, but
we
I'm
don't stand
saying
the corners
that
for
you
the
don't
mosquitoes
need to
to
go
bite
back
us.
there. You
I'm
can
just
just
saying that
role
go back to
No,
factory
I
setting.
think wait. I think that you're missing the point of what I'm saying. It's easy to say go back to factory settings. It's easy to say. The problem with back as factory settings is when you don't feel the same way. So let's say in the beginning, we love to take long walks on the beach. It was so romantic. Right now, you are annoying me. Your existence is annoying me. Your breathing is annoying me. I don't like the way you smell.
And I'm telling myself
And
that
then now you're
I
saying,
regret doing this.
Exactly. Then you say, okay, we should go to the beach. So now we go to the beach. I want us to have a conversation on the necessary change of mind that it takes to go back to a place like the beach where you are a completely different person, expecting to feel the way you felt 5 years ago, and it's not happening, but it has to happen if the relationship is going to move forward.
Yeah, I feel like memories will help with that.
Yes.
Like pictures, videos, remembering why you fell in love with the person in the first place. I know that can be hard.
Apart from the fact that I was foolish.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
No, because
no,
I'm
I'm
being
being realistic. I
You're
mean,
like, oh my God, I can't believe that I even did this.
so how are you going
regret
to
the
remember
whole
the-
decision.
Yeah, I'm
So
just-
you go back to your wedding photos.
Oh, please.
back-
that
I've always
one.
back to
wondered
your
about
That
memory,
one.
your
these
That
wedding
one.
photos. I've
No,
always
the
wondered that
wedding
before
photos.
people get divorced, do they forget how they felt on their wedding day and all that. Like, why?
It seems like a
that
very far
feeling
away.
really
The picture won't do
Anyway,
anything.
I think that the first place to start from is to deal with your egos. At least one person needs to give up and say, okay, we are in a bad place. When I make an attempt at fixing this, he might not respond like I wanted, but I won't let that get in the way. I'll keep trying. I'll try a few more times. Even if I come up with an idea, oh, can we have dinner out today? He's like, no, I'm tired. I won't let that get me more upset. I'll be prepared that he might say no, and in a way that I'm like, why am I even trying? But I will still keep trying. Yeah, you have to be willing to chase the person again, and then also incorporate some role playing, fantasies. Come on, I think that we all have some fantasies. If you go back to your days of reading Mills and Boons and things, even as a teenager, there were some things that you had some expectations on. This is the time to do it. You can come up with, if you are very creative, you can write some storyline and you drop it.
The problem
That's not the very first step, though. That's not the first step.
Okay.
That will not be the first step. The first step, like I said, is dealing with your ego, realizing that, okay, I'm going to try this and he or she might not respond immediately and I have to do it a few more times. And if you can, give yourself a little space, not separation, not legal separation, no. But maybe if there's an opportunity for you to go on a work trip, take it so that that distance can make you guys miss
can happen in distance.
So,
and when you're in a hotel room, call your partner. I know when you're in the hotel
really
room,
handsome guy you saw in the lobby.
okay.
Call your partner.
The issue is, first, there are issues. The jitters are gone. Look deep inside. Okay.
And you'll find that a hero lives in you.
Because sometimes
the hero might be that
go
office
home. Take your bag and
boyfriend.
go home.
because
Sorry.
sometimes it's all also about you. One, what are you contributing to that matter? What is your contribution?
Right.
You might think that, oh, it is all about him. She has rightly said it. Egos. One must, begin the process of trying to patch up. But whilst you are doing that, work on yourself. It all begins and ends with you.
Yep.
You are experiencing it, all right? You are feeling all nervous about the relationship, almost going down the drain. Work on yourself.
Right.
You need all the help you can get, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Mentally, because that is where the battle is ongoing, hot Russia, Ukraine. So that is where you need the support. Seek it, either professionally or however you think you can get it. Get it. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Because one, you are not a repertoire of wisdom. You don't have all the wisdom in the world in your own head. What you are dealing with has been dealt with
by other people. Definitely.
Okay. Somebody who has experienced it or who hasn't experienced it has some knowledge, to share about it. Talk about it. Don't sit in your silence and watch helplessly. You can do something about it. So that's about the you factor. What is your contribution?
Amma doesn't agree with you, by the way.
After you see your contribution, start working on yourself. And then secondly, it is
Thirdly.
Listen, add the third.
Please, I don't know what to say.
Okay, let me speak to what she said about the privacy. On my way here, I was just thinking to myself, one of the things that one can do, I'm like, when there's a problem between a couple, again, I'm not married, so let me even talk just relationship. I think it would still apply to married folks. And privacy can be good because sometimes when you open up to people, they pour petrol and everything into the
You open up to the wrong
person.
But sometimes you're like, you might think that this is the right person I'm talking to until you implement what they're saying and it backfires. Then you realize that it really isn't, that was not the right person to talk to. And they didn't intend to mess things up for you, but they gave you that advice in good faith. None of them know the situation better than yourself. when you are reporting to them, when you are speaking to them, you will not the communication, no matter how much of a good communications it would flop somewhere. You would say, I just dropped this here. I just said, oh, I've put this there. And then he said, why did you put it there? Meanwhile, you would have said, I've put this here so you can take it. But you wouldn't say it in that tone. Your tone will be different. And the person advising you is going to advise you based on what you said and how you supposed to
I think
work.
talking to people gives clarity in mind.
Yes, that is,
It
you're
helps
fortunate
you.
to be talking to the right person.
No,
but
not
you cannot
necessarily.
measure that until
Even if
you've
it's wrong,
implemented
right?
what
Even
they've told you.
if what a person told you may be a wrong thing, by talking about it, research shows that by talking about your problems, you replay it. And even if the person, sometimes for me, when I'm talking to people, by the end of what I'm saying to the person, I kind of know what I need to do, because I have spoken to the person, and if I keep asking myself, if I was the other person, what would I tell me? What advice would I give to me? And so I have that internal monologue or dialogue, and then I resolve to do something. And this afternoon, I spoke to a friend about something I was going through, and then the person's perspective they gave me, I tried it based on what the person said and how they said it, and it worked. Not because they are as what you call it, Adepa would say, but they provided me a perspective I hadn't seen. Yes. So sometimes talking to people helps you see the alternate view from the other person's perspective, because maybe your husband is annoying you for so long, you don't want to listen to anything he says. Even you probably consider him a liar, so everything he's saying, you have it in your mind that he's a liar. But maybe there's a little bit of truth. There's no smoke without fire. There's always something that you are missing. There's always a piece of the puzzle that you're not getting, and that's why you have disagreements. I feel like fights are mostly disagreements based on values or principles or actions. Like, I'm disagreeing with something you did, and maybe that disagreement has gone on for so long, I am tired of constantly disagreeing with you, and so I want to give up. And that's the place where you get to. But talking to somebody else will help you see from the other person's perspective what you may be missing. Especially if you talk to somebody who has succeeded in the field and probably the same gender as your partner, you tend to realize that.
I learned that from Steve Harvey.
Yes.
I actually agree.
So I never talk to women about
No.
I do talk to men.
I agree on talking to a man about a problem
like,
with a man.
Into you people, this is how you people think.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Talking
to
So everybody has sat up on
that.
the top because of that.
Yes.
Give the punchline, you know.
Yeah. But I absolutely agree, because you see, whether we like it or not, the people of the other gender, we haven't ever become like them.
Yeah, until one more say.
They can't understand us too.
Everybody should.
And I jokingly say that when God created women, he rested and he has never worked. Because after he created us, you know, so we are in a world of our own.
I've actually heard the opposite of that. God created women and then he has never rested.
Oh, well, what the Bible says is, and he rested. So he hasn't worked again, because he knows we are going to continue
doing his work.
Yes,
I see.
Okay, but it is so because a man is able to give you a person, and I have had that severally. It's like, Adepa, can you think about it this way too? I am a man, and I would feel slighted if you tell me this. But I will go like, oh, I didn't mean to hurt his feelings. Like, oh no, you hurt him. Actually, by even saying that, or by even thinking like that, you hurt him. So if he is responding this way, it's because he said, oh, really? You understand? A man, yes. So a man, another man, I mean, but you have to be careful.
Exactly.
With the man
before you come and start an emotional affair.
Exactly.
Because now
So
he understands you in ways that we know
but
how
you
that
need
goes.
a matured person in your life. You need somebody who is with the stable marriage. You can see that it's not perfect, but the person is doing good. You understand?
I'm sorry, and this is not like personal, but I always resent when people say that it is people who have successful marriages that should give marriage advice. I think that people who have failed,
divorce the women. So my apologies for looking at it one way.
We accept on behalf of the fraternity.
Thank you. Thank you. So talk to somebody who have actually experienced it. And then secondly, after you have done all the talking, please, Mr. Madam, do your homework.
So this is talking about homework. This is what I have done over the years. I always have a pros and cons list that I'm constantly updating.
Good.
So when I get into a rut or a tough time, I pick up the pros and cons list. And I look at all the things that he is. And I look at all the things that he is not. And I ask myself, can I live without all the things that he is? Or can I live with all the things that he is not? And a lot of times it puts it into perspective, the value that this person brings into your life.
Yep.
And then at that point, you have the vim to wear the sexy lingerie and be like, yo, I determined the spark, therefore it is going to spark.
It's about
and
to
whatever
go
it
down.
is that's going on with you is going to end because mama is in the building.
Thank you.
But I think that fundamentally, if you're listening to us and you have lost the spark, do your pros and cons list. Do the good and the bad. And there may be a time when the bad is more than the good.
Yeah.
That's another conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when you decide that.
Yeah, but a lot of times you will find that the good is
far
worth,
outweighs.
it's worth fighting.
I think that I was still on the privacy thing. I think that before you speak to somebody, make sure you speak to your partner. You guys should have a talk.
Are we ever going to talk to Jesus at some point?
Well, yeah. If you believe in Jesus, you can talk to Jesus too.
I mean, talk to.
Talk to who you believe into, and then talk to the person that you're dealing with. It's very important. There are people who do not like being reported. I think that some people need to appreciate that their privacy.
So much,
Don't go and tell
anybody
your partner's mentor or whatever.
Oh no!
But
that is
that's
like a dress fupa. That is like a dress fupa. You don't do that. You don't go. No. You don't go to your partner's fairy for mentor. Something, pastor. No, you don't do that unless push comes to shove, and that is the only. Yeah. So there, that's the last card.
If he is not the dribbling in the football match,
I think that should be the last.
It's your last card.
The last card.
That's your last.
What is the last? Have I asked the question?
She hasn't
no.
asked the question.
And why are you people like this?
With the football,
I'm asking Esin. The two of you. I'm not asking you again.
Okay.
If something like that is not working, they are saying no. Don't talk to mentor. Don't talk to pastor. Who do you talk to?
But how can a dribble not work and you married them?
Because maybe you didn't dribble before the start time.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, so who do you talk to?
I feel like for that on issues like that, it's about learning, because again, you didn't do it before, so you need to commit to learning. You both need to commit to learning. But again, before you get married,
what are you talking about? Something in particular?
She said something. I'm responding. You
no, because I feel like maybe there's a culture.
You are lost.
Okay. So I think basically what you're saying is that find the right people to talk to about the right things concerning your partner, because you don't want to go and expose him or expose her.
No.
Yeah, and usually they are the right people to talk to.
Yeah, they are.
So talk to them themselves first.
They themselves first. Yes.
And your partner is the right person.
No, I think we have established
talk.
We have established
but we're
that.
not talking about listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to listen to our
them.
partners.
Thank you.
I feel like for most of the times, for the number of times that there's been I give up on this, there's been a constant I don't like this. You're
not listening. You're not listening.
Ignored. And I feel like in this part of our world, especially with the kind of society we have, women have been portrayed to be men. I watch a lot of TikTok videos where men are listening to women only like when it becomes extreme, when it gets to the point where they can't take it anymore.
Is that also because of how women communicate?
No, because we've been made to think that when women are communicating, they are nagging.
So all
That's
you
true.
hear
That's
is
very true.
all you hear is that
The whines.
she's nagging.
Yeah.
She's whining.
Yeah.
But you didn't hear the time when she tapped you on the bed and said, "Babe, can you please take out the trash?" But you heard when she was shouting,
Why did you take
"Why
out the
didn't
trash?"
you take out the trash?" You would hear that, but you are missing that she silently told you a few minutes ago. You know, it happens constantly where I feel like some men have been tuned into only hearing the nags, only hearing when it's louder, only when it's uncomfortable. That's when they can hear, so they can conclude that okay, she's nagging, and so they're not listening. You know, and sometimes even in having emotional conversations, when the person is telling you how they are feeling, you are invalidating their feelings. You are
Because we don't teach men how to communicate in an emotional setting. It's something that
Exactly.
mothers don't do. We don't teach
it's
our
true,
sons to,
and that's very very
to do
true.
that.
We
yeah.
don't teach our children to listen, to empathize, and to resolve. We teach people to run away.
Yeah. Let me
rather
take a
than
few
resolve.
messages.
Blind Messiah.
Wow. Okay. God's Will, Bubune Williams says, beautiful program. Thank you very much by all standards. Good evening, ladies. Well, listening to the topic and the discussion, I agree to the fact that jitters could die off in marriages. Relationships from day one is a mutual effort when it is properly matured by both parties.
Nurtured.
Nurtured. Okay, I couldn't see. Nurtured by both parties. It grows to the next level. That's marriage. It doesn't end there. There are other things both must do to keep the love and the sparks. If any plays dull with one of these gems, both would crash. It's a collective effort, intentionally loving each other and doing what is cherished by each other. It should be reiterated on a daily basis. Make each other believe in what one says and does to the partner. Spice it up as and when. Frank Ejapong. Thank you so much for that, Frank. Good evening, ladies. If the relationship is about one partner pretending to be in love, and after getting what he or she needs, behaving a certain way, it's good to move on because that partner will never change. That's Ajiman Joseph. Hi, Joseph. Good evening. For better, for worse seems not to exist today because it's been redefined. The interpretation back then was to tolerate and live with cheating, abuse, etc. From partners. Now people own their lives. It's them before any of the stated above and what society deems fit. It's about their happiness. For better, for worse still exists today. It means we're all human. We're in this together. We rise and fall. We'll make it work, excluding the initial definition. Okay.
I agree.
Nana Kwesi. Nana Kwame says, what do you do when she asks you to give her space or time? When she confirms you did not do anything wrong? Because you didn't do anything wrong.
Please, she has the
asking for space.
standby boyfriend ready to take over.
Wow. Many marriages in Ghana are dead. They're just existing only in name. Couples pretend to be lovey-dovey outside, especially in church and social media, to please society. They may even be hailed as the model couple in church. Meanwhile, when they're alone, they have no relationship. They're not even talking. A conversation is very difficult between the two of them. Meanwhile, someone single somewhere will be envying them and aspiring to being like them, not knowing the real truth behind the facade. That's Vincent in Accra. Okay, Benito Teda says that's why most people will advise that you have to date or marry your type of person. You should have things in common. If you're dirty, both of you can be dirty in peace.
Thank you.
If you're fooling, you fool together in peace.
Thank you.
Because most of the time it's difficult to mold already made adults to be what you want them to be, especially as they've grown with their habits all their lives. It only takes one who is willing to change and adapt to a new norm. I see. So marry your level.
Marry your type.
Usually people
Marry your type.
People, for example, somebody who is not tidy hopes to be tidy and is attracted to somebody who is tidy. Sometimes you think that it will rub off you.
It doesn't.
But yeah, of course, it wouldn't rub off you. But
doesn't.
that person doesn't want to be, because you're like, that would be chaos.
It will be chaos.
Yeah, because you are not tidy. You're going to be with somebody who's also not tidy. That would be chaos. You wouldn't
There's
have
a
good
gun.
night's
There's a
sleep.
gun that says no make no mebo. Find your own and live with it. To each his own. I have ADHD. My partner has ADHD.
Wow.
We are ADHD ourselves
Together.
But I think that
Very simple.
But I also
Wow.
think that one other thing we are living out is the moment you decide, okay, I'm going to let go of my ego, I need to work on this relationship, you should also do some things to your physical appearance.
Yeah.
Yes, you're already looking good.
Thank
Yes,
you.
you are
Physical
currently looking
appearance is
good.
very important.
You're currently
Switch it
looking
up.
good, but switch it up. You are currently looking good. It's not because you've let yourself go. No, you haven't. But change it.
So if you're always wearing skirts, now you wear shorts.
Yes.
Give it to us.
Something different.
to
Let
show
him be like,
some
something has changed.
So be like, hey,
Yeah.
I was up.
Yeah.
And then
So
send
that-
him a gift voucher to go for a haircut and something
Gifts,
new.
yeah,
Maybe
gifts.
So that he
passion.
would also look different to you.
So that's
He or
com-
she. So
do your homework. Basically, do your homework. You've done all the talking. That's why I said it starts with you. So you have to change you. I mean, you have to love yourself. You have to spice yourself up before you can spice somebody else up. When
And also, the relationship is between the two of you. It shouldn't be like your sisters, your friends, your whatever. You need to know the person you are with, and know that your marriage would be it's custom.
My
won't
fear with spicing it up, if we're talking about physical appearance and stuff like that, is that as women, as time goes by, we change, we grow, things start going down that used to be up, a whole lot of things. I was reading today because I'm turning 40 this year, and I was reading that apparently my estrogen levels are going to start dropping, and so I may have a few problems with the waterfalls, because rivers may start. Rivers may start to dry up and things like that, and so then it's like, okay, do you age gracefully in your relationship? Are you always trying to be some young girl who is funky and fun? I mean, how do you and maybe this is more to you, Adipa, but I mean, how do you find that balance between keeping yourself fresh and exciting and all of that, but also accepting that gravity?
Yes.
Gravity.
You have to accept that it won't be the same. How you felt when you were 25, when I was 26, when I was getting married, it's no longer like this when I'm turning 41. I feel different, definitely. Your body itself will communicate.
The water bodies have
yes, and everything. Sometimes you are just moody for nothing, and I know it's the hormones gone whack. You understand? It happens, but that is why I said it starts with you. So be intentional about yourself. Then you must be intentional.
Notice what has changed.
Yes, and then start working on it, and then give back to your spouse, your partner, what he deserves. You understand?
If we are giving what people deserve, they're in a
And it's not the wrong
single
one.
folks, we just have to hope that we marry a kind person that would love us through all seasons, because things.
Because some things we don't have control
We don't have
over.
It's a wild
over.
expectation.
Yeah.
You do everything, and then your partner feels different still, and there's little you can do when that happens.
They hope and pray.
Yeah,
But it's about you. It's about your happiness.
and also you need to open up your mind a little. Don't make everything spiritual and religious. Sometimes your partner is like, oh, we can explore a little bit in the bedroom, and then you are like, oh no, like we can't do this because you think that it is a sin.
Yeah.
Everything isn't a sin. I think some people
Yeah, everything
do some things
isn't
as
a
a sin,
sin.